remontada might not mean too much to it. It's a noun which translates as comeback, and that is the word that Jude Bellingham says is being used in the Real Madrid dressing room ahead of their Champions League quarter-final second leg against Arsenal. Madrid are 3-0 down heading to the Bernabeu. Bellingham says the first leg was the worst result imaginable, but for some reason he and his teammates think it's nailed on. They can produce a stunning comeback or remontada.
I'd like to ask you about the most repeated word in the changing room during these days.
Remontada. Honestly, I've heard it about a million times since last week. I've seen a million videos online and made by fans, made by kind of you guys, I suppose, and yeah, really motivating stuff. It's a night that's made for Real Madrid, a night that would go down in history, but also be something that people are familiar with around this part of the world. So yeah, hopefully we can add another special night. It's a weird environment at the minute. The last few days, it's like one of the worst results we could possibly imagine away, and for some reason everyone thinks it's nailed on that we'll come back, and it's a nice feeling, I have to say. It means there's a lot of trust in the talent. It means that you're at a club that's unlike no other, the best in the world. That's what it represents and signifies to me. So yeah, there's a pressure that comes along with that for sure, and we'll want to deliver on what everyone thinks, that we can come back, and there's an expectation from Real Madrid that when we get into these kind of holes that we can come back, even if it's a really tough one and a really difficult one. I think probably in England it's not as common, although it has happened as well. I think Liverpool did it a couple of years back before they got to the final or something like that, or they won it. So yeah, it's just because the club have done it so many times, and that's what's so impressive about the size of this club. After the game, it's normally really tough. You have the kind of few moments after you've got to do the press, you're sitting around on your own where, you know, you do think that it's going to be difficult, it's going to be tough, and then the more you get speaking to the other lads and you see how confident they are, the more it kind of rubs off on you. The lads that have experienced these kind of nights before, it rubs off. Like I said before, it's infectious, and you know, it makes you a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable with the situation you're in, about the people you're going into the situation you're in. So yeah, for us it was pretty much immediate. So by the time we was back on the coach, we was all not in good spirits, obviously, but realised that we could still be in the competition.
Well, there is plenty of justification for Bellingham's confidence. Real Madrid have been the masters of comebacks in the Champions League in recent years. Last year, in their semi-final against Bayern Munich, Real were a goal down heading into the final minutes. Then Joselu, once of Stoke, popped up in the 88th and 91st minute to send them through. 2 years earlier, PSG were 2 goals down. Real were 2 goals down to PSG. Things changed on the hour in the second leg. Benzema with a famous 17-minute hat-trick. In the next round, Real threw away a 3-1 lead from the first leg, going 3-0 down to Chelsea in the second leg at the Bernabeu. Real were heading out until Rodrigo sent the game to extra time. Karim Benzema then headed in the winner. Staying in 2022, well, it might just be the best of the bunch, this one. In the semi-final, Real were 4-3 down to Manchester City after the first leg and conceded first in the second. Riyad Mahrez put City in front. Then came pure chaos, and stoppage time double from Rodrigo sent it to extra time. Once again, it was Benzema with the winner, this time from the penalty spot. And how about a comeback in the final as well? A long time ago, this back in 2014, Real were trailing rivals Atletico 1-0 with 92 minutes played. Well, you know what happened next. Sergio Ramos sent the game into extra time. Then goals from Gareth Bale, Marcelo and Cristiano Ronaldo put the game beyond doubt on an incredible night in Lisbon. So that is Real's recent history, but Bellingham has been doing his own research too.
I've heard Emilio was talking about one against Anderlecht, I think, where they won like 6-1 in the second leg or something like that, and I've seen the clips not long ago on TikTok, so yeah, that's my source of education these days. So no, yeah, I've seen a couple of those, and obviously the ones in more recent times. So yeah, it's something that you want to be a part of. It's something that you know, you want to add to the history of this club. There's not a lot you can do for Real Madrid in the Champions League that hasn't already been done, and tomorrow is an opportunity for us to do something that hasn't been done for the first time, and that's really important to us.
Well, it was Bellingham's England teammate that was the star of the first leg. It will be remembered for Declan Rice's 2 stunning free kicks. The first time he'd ever scored a direct free kick. Then 12 minutes later rather, he got another one. Bellingham admits he was surprised to see Rice score either.
Not really, no. We know the quality they had. I think the free kicks were surprising. I've not seen Deck do that before, to be fair. I knew he could take set pieces really well, the corners and stuff, but I'd never seen him do that with the free kicks. So fair play to him. That was probably the only thing though, really. We knew they're a really good team. We knew that they have a really good manager. They're going to be organised, and yeah, there was a lot of things that were really impressive for them, but nothing that we didn't expect. They're a top level team.
Real boss Carlo Ancelotti took training today and also spoke to the media and rejected the idea that his team's experience gives them a big advantage over a youthful Arsenal team.
This is a team that really well organized, that Arteta is working with them for a long time, so they have a really clear idea, defensively, offensively, and when you have a clear idea, you are more focused on what you have to do that on the ambience outside. To score early is more important part of the game, but the most important part to have a good control at the game and to try to do your best at the beginning to, as I said, to have a good control of the game, and then when you have a good control of the game, you can score